So I can have a great purpose. I can be full of passion, but if I don't have a plan, I will probably not be able to execute it. Hello, how are you? Welcome to 2022. So today I'm joining you so we can talk a little bit about the new year. We all look with excitement to a new year as entrepreneurs. We start doing resolutions, start thinking about new ways to do business, perhaps changing or rebranding ourselves, changing habits that we had in the past. And I think with this pandemic, we've been positioned or challenged in a way that have forced us to, in some instances, to pivot our businesses. So in the past, we were doing things a certain way, probably not that many things digitally. And now we've been forced to do things digitally, to change channels of distribution, to change the way we train people, to change the way we work. And that's important to think about. So in 2022, I'm sure you, as I did, sat down with a cup of coffee or your favorite drink and started thinking, what am I going to do different? So hopefully through this interaction, this video, I can get you to think a little bit different about potential things that you can change, pivot in your business. So let me share with you a PowerPoint presentation I have for you. So starting 2022, and then again, I'm presenting this on behalf of my organization, the Multicultural Entrepreneurial Institute. The Institute was fortunate to be selected the Outstanding Business of the Year for 2021 by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. So we're really excited to be recognized for the transformative work that our company does. We are a company that is for profit, but we have a social mission. And our social mission has been executed over 15 years, so it's a long time. A little bit about myself. So I'm the Chief Solutions Officer of the Multicultural Entrepreneurial Institute. I'm also the President and CEO of the Latino Chamber of Commerce for Southeastern Wisconsin, and then interim Executive Director for the Latino Entrepreneurial Network. So we're three hats all the time, at least for now. And but the most important hat is entrepreneurial hat. At the Institute, our team has 6 specialists, and we specialize in different areas. So I'm in charge in probably most of the training, but also I'm an enrolled agent with the IRS. So I do taxation for corporations, partnerships, and complex situations. We also have 2 taxation specialists that are they have their annual designation and they focus in small business taxes and individual taxes. We also have a digital marketing specialist on staff that helps businesses with digital marketing, branding, websites. And we also have a payroll specialist. My experience is very diverse. I started in banking. That was my first job. I migrated to work in international sales of mining equipment. So I had a great experience working for 2 international companies and interacting with people from all over the world. Due to my multilingual capabilities, speak English, Spanish, and Portuguese, a little bit of French. I also had the opportunity to work for the utility company in the finance department and had the opportunity to gather knowledge, a little bit of advanced knowledge in finance, which was really interesting for me. Also being a government official, I work for the university system as a faculty associate. My education is also very diverse, and I have a bachelor's of science in electrical engineering, a bachelor's of arts in economics, an MBA, and a master's of science in international business. I'm pursuing currently my PhD. I'm on the 2nd year of my leadership in service experience at Cardinal Stretch. So the mission of the Institute is to assist entrepreneurs to reach their business dream through culturally relevant education, bilingual business consulting, technical assistance in the areas of marketing, business development, and taxation. Although we had taken a culturally relevant approach primarily for Latinos, we also serve the general market, and we had clients in 3 states, besides Wisconsin. So this is what I wanted to share a little bit with you. So we have been training entrepreneurs for over 15 years, and successfully we had trained through our programs 4,047 entrepreneurs that they're all thriving in different fields with a very high success rate, about 97%, using this model. And this model is very interesting, and we use it for training. All our training has these components, and we also use it for our technical assistance, or what some people call business coaching. Some people get those two confused. Technical assistant has over 25 definitions, but at the end of the day, when you're looking at seeking assistance for a specific project, perhaps a marketing plan, a business plan, a digital strategy, those are the things that you might need some guidance, and you need is highly technical, very specific, whereas business coaching is more general, more strategic, more relationship driven. So our model relies on these three P's: passion, purpose, and planning. So as entrepreneurs, typically we're full of passion. We love what we do. And if you don't love what you're doing, then you enter in the wrong field, because we are entrepreneurs 24/7. There's no gap in what we do. So we really need to breathe our business. We need to be passionate, and we need to love what we do in order to be successful, because it's a lot of sacrifice. It's embracing a lifestyle that is totally different from the one that you embrace when you're an employee of a corporation, or when you're an employee in any type of organization. As entrepreneurs full of passion, sometimes we need to calibrate that passion. That passion is calibrated by two other elements. The first one is purpose. Purpose is the why. Why did I start this business? Why do I feel I will be successful? Why? And I should be able to answer that as I work through my business, not only when I started, but as I continue to grow it. Every year, I suggest, as it comes to this period that we in January tend to rethink everything we do, it's important to go back to that purpose and understand why you're doing what you do, why you feel you are successful in what you do. And that should be part of your guide as you migrate into the new year. Passion and purpose are great. Like my business have a social mission of empowering entrepreneurs reach their dreams. That's in the simplest way, the mission of my business. And people say, well, you as a consultant could be in any other market making 3 or 4 times what you're making, but you chose purposely to help small business that are low to moderate income. And it is true. I mean, when we're dealing with businesses that cannot afford high ticket items, then you need to be committed to what you do. And we are. So my purpose has always been that educational purpose, that empowering piece. And my passion is in teaching, educating, and sharing knowledge. The intersection between passion and purpose is that innovation piece. So my passion drove me to think about a business that is needed, that was needed at the time 15 years ago. When I started my business, there were very few bilingual consultants. There were very few minority consultants that were serving the minority market. Minority market was primarily pursuing any mainstream services for accounting, for payroll, because they didn't have a lot of choices. So I saw that as an opportunity. So I chose a way to take a service that might be mainstream and adapt it for the communities I wanted to serve. That's part of innovation. Innovation could be in different contexts depending on what you do. It could be a new product, a totally new service that you create. And that's a connection between passion and purpose. Your innovation drove you there. The other piece is planning, and planning is our calibration for both things. So I can have a great purpose, I can be full of passion, but if I don't have a plan, I will probably not be able to execute it. And the truth of the matter is, no matter how much passion you have and how much of a great purpose you have identified, you need to have resources to do what you do. And those resources typically come in two flavors. You need to have human capital, and you need to have capital, tangible capital, because you're going to need funding to run your venture, to pay employees, to rent a place, to buy product, to buy software, whatever is it that you're going to do. And you need human capital. You need individuals that share that passion and purpose. It's really hard to run and grow a small business if you hire individuals that don't understand your purpose and if they don't share your passion. So think about that as you're growing your enterprise and bringing people on, how they connect with you. Your story is very important. The story of your business is very important. And if they don't share that passion, they're going to be probably not performing at the peak level you like them to perform. Planning help us calibrate those two things. So I had a lot of passion, purpose. Now I need to look at my resources. Human capital also refers to myself. So understanding, self-evaluating myself and saying, I'm great at teaching and great in accounting and great in this specific area, but I'm not an attorney. So rather than trying to develop a contract for services with my clients, I go to an attorney that is trained, qualified to do that, and I continue selling educational service. I continue consulting with businesses. And sometimes we tend to get sidetracked by that. We want to save money on everything. And then we say, well, I don't need an accountant. I know enough about accounting, but you're not an accountant. Therefore, when you're running your business, let's say it's construction, and you're spending a day a week trying to reconcile your books, that's time you can spend selling your services. That's time you can spend in the field building something and getting probably a higher return for your time. So the intersection between purpose and planning is integrity. For me, it's very important that an entrepreneur understand that integrity drives your brand. If you commit to do a job for somebody else in a certain amount of time, you need to deliver it. Your integrity not only encompasses your commitment to delivery, but your commitment to quality, your commitment to your work. Your work is very important when you're a business owner. And confidentiality to some extent. If I, as a consultant, will be in every bar in town talking about my clients, I will have no clients because the word will get around. So it's important to have the integrity of confidentiality when people share things with me. And between planning and passion is ingenuity. So you need to have passion to be recreating yourself all the time. We cannot remain static, no matter what business you have, how simple the business could be or you think it is. You always need to find opportunities to change. And I'll give you an example. Recently, I've been educating. I've been an educator for 30 years. In my business, I've been educating other businesses for 15. And businesses from different parts of the state will call me, oh, why don't you come here and bring a class to us? And time is really valuable when you run a business. It's really hard for me to drive 3 hours to run a class. And then come back to Milwaukee and lose another 3 hours. So I always was intrigued by this concept of teaching online or teaching through distant learning platform, but I never truly embraced it. Now in 2020, I had no choice but to teach in platforms like this. So I was forced to figure out, how can I communicate with people? What materials do I need to have? What platforms are the best ones for me? And that's how I ended up becoming a specialist to some extent in Zoom and learning how it works. So that ingenuity allowed me to maintain my business in a different format. And we still do face-to-face training, but now I had this additional venue in which I had done hybrid courses, people taking courses remotely. I had people taking my course last year. Somebody from New Jersey and somebody from Texas was tuning in for my tax class. And this year we have people as far as Brown County taking some of our accounting classes. So it's really interesting how sometimes changes in the marketplace force us to innovate. All this passion, purpose, and planning, which tend to be more internal, more to the entrepreneur, occurs in some type of culture. with it Midwest culture, Latino culture, African American culture, we all have some common values that affect the way we do business. It's also happening in a context. It's not the same to do business in Milwaukee than to do business in Madison or to do business in Green Bay. And we need to understand our context when we're expanding our business, when we're creating or crafting an enterprise. Licensing process in Milwaukee and West Allis is very complex, where you go to other towns and licensing tends to be a little bit more lenient, easier, friendly. So knowing your context allows you to better plan, to better calibrate your passion and purpose. Also, community. We all are part of a community as a business owner, and we need to understand how we can collaborate and integrate ourselves in the community we want to serve. So this is our model. Now, when you look at passion planning and purpose and planning in your cultural context, in your community context, you can elevate yourself through ingenuity, innovation, integrity to achieve success. Now, success, you got to be careful with the success word because success means different things to different people. There are people that think that success is making $1 million. And I can tell you that I had gone through this motion with many of my business clients, and some of them reached their $1 million. And they said, this is not how $1 million feels like, because yes, you reach the sales of $1 million, but you're still spending about $800,000 in labor and other things. So it doesn't feel like $1 million. So having a discrete number is helpful, but it should not be my measuring. My measuring should be temporary. And then as I grow my business, as I innovate, as I develop my business with integrity and calibrate my passion and purpose, that business will have different goals. So don't remain static with your goals for this year. People just defining as number of employees. Some people, well, I want to have the best location. I want to get this account, and that's success. That's part of success. But success is something that you're always going to be working on. It requires effort. It's not going to happen just because, and it requires adaptation. And you plan, and you can plan to death. There are people that spend way too much time on planning, and then something happens that diverted you from that plan, and you cannot function because it was planned to the nth degree, and you've neglected in the process that passion and purpose. So you need to be able to adapt for success. And success might imply that sometimes you will fail, that sometimes you will experience difficult times, that you might lose an account, that you might sign a bad contract. It has happened to many people. So ensure that when you're trying to strive for that success is meaningful to you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, not to those around you. Really, success is internal. And you need to balance your head, your hands, and your heart. And when you find that balance is when you become successful. Passion, it drives us. Remember, if it feels like a job, you probably chose the wrong thing to do. When you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't feel like a job. It's just, your life is a lifestyle. You enjoy it. You're motivated. You just love going to the place of work. Passion also drives our innovation again, how we recreate ourselves. Remember to believe in yourself and believe in your product and service. If you don't believe in what you do, nobody else is going to believe you. Don't underprice yourself. Don't undershare yourself. Understand your value, understand the value that you add, and charge the price accordingly. Our purpose. Why do we get up every day? What inspires us to run this business? Reflect regularly on your business. I like to reflect every week. I like to think about what worked, what didn't work, what was frustrating, what wasn't. Then I meet with my team and we talk about it. We do a round robins. We figure out how to tackle the following week. We talked about how to change processes, procedures, or ways we do things. So those things that didn't work doesn't happen again. And there's no guarantee that will not happen again, let me tell you. but at least you'll be a little bit more prepared. Also, think about your values and those values, how they portray in your business. So as I share with you, I have the value of education. I feel that my clients should be empowered. I don't do any work that I cannot explain to my client. And some of them want the explanation, some of them do not. But most of them appreciate that I take the time to explain what tax return I did, or that I explain a concept that they don't understand, because that's important for me, education. I also value affordability. I don't feel that individuals should be paying obscene prices to get a service. Um, so I integrate that value in everything I do in quality. I'm all about quality. And we know that quality is relative. And that's when we have issues, when we define quality different from our client. And we need to figure out a way to bridge that gap. And the way we do it is asking our client, are you getting a quality service? Why don't you feel you're getting a quality service? So it's an interaction that you have with your client so you can continue bridging that gap between what you feel quality is and quality is in the other area. For me, my culture is very important. Family values, collectivism are things that drive what I do. So for you, it might be different things. But when you go through this process of understanding your business purpose and understanding your own purpose, it helps reflect on the culture, how you were brought up, which environment, which context, which community. Planning is awesome. Planning helps you with your ingenuity and resilience. Some people say or think that planning is a waste of time, but planning forces you to think. And when you're thinking, you have a hack that allows you to find gaps, that allows you to find opportunities. In this process of planning, you also can build for resilience. So what happens if this doesn't work? I have plan B. If plan B doesn't work, I have plan C. So I have an alternative to the potential challenges that I might face as an entrepreneur. I should have and plan for those. And in planning, there are 4 core areas that I suggest you think about through this year. Financial planning, what is your strategy? Do you need outside capital? Can you survive with the internal capital of your business? Do you need to obtain a loan? Do you need to find an investor or to partner up? Legal and tax strategies. People don't spend a lot of time on taxation. People just delegate that to somebody and they don't even read the report or ask for any explanations of their taxes. I challenge you to do that. When you do your taxes next time, sit with your tax preparer, tax professional, and ask that person to explain them to you and to suggest way in which you can reduce them legally. There are many strategies you can use to legally reduce your tax obligation. Also, it's good when you're doing this reflection, this annual reflection over your passion, purpose, and planning to think about your promotion and think you're doing the right things for the audience you want to reach. Is the right client coming through the door, or is not I'm getting the wrong clients coming through the door? Also, it's an opportunity now with inflation. And I don't know you have bought things at the store, but half of the stores have very low inventory and prices are very high. So it's virtually impossible. I cannot think of any business that can sustain the prices from last year. And I have gone through this with many of my coaches and my clients. You need to start looking and how much your materials went up. In my case, software, which is a major component of the service, went up drastically, almost 50% more than what it was last year. So then my prices cannot remain the same. So I need to reevaluate my pricing strategy every so often. Finally, human capital strategy, how I, as an entrepreneur, develop myself. If you're not learning, if you're not acquiring new knowledge, you're going to be stagnant. Every single field requires rejuvenation, requires lifelong learning, requires learning new skills and adapting to new things. So that human capital strategy starts with yourself. You start planning for your own development and then for those around you. So those are my thoughts regarding this year as you think to reevaluate your business. Look at how your passion drives you every day, your purpose, and calibrate those with your planning process. That planning process should have your financial strategy, your legal and taxation strategy, your human capital strategy, and your promotions. You should look at those 4 things. If you have a team, evaluate it with the team, sit down, talk about it, what you feel we can change, how can we change these different things. There's always opportunity. And after COVID, where we went almost fully digital, new opportunities have come up for every single business. Restaurants, now they have delivery systems, and not rely on people coming, foot traffic going into the stores. I, as a trainer, had to rely on hybrid systems to conduct training. Contractors had to rely more on digital invoicing, digital accounting systems so they can interact with their clients. So there's a lot of opportunity for 2022 to integrate in your business. And you need assistance, you need support. Remember that our business was created to support other entrepreneurs. And we have an excellent track record, 4,037. That was last year, but then now we need to add our new numbers. We train over 100 entrepreneurs annually. We have over 365 tax clients. And you want to reach us, learn more about this model, come to one of our programs, learn more about our leadership system. Please call us 414-383-4633 or email us at info@multiculturalinstitute.com. I wish you a lot of success this year in 2022. Reflect on your passion, reflect on your purpose, and plan accordingly. Be safe, be strategic, grow your business. Those are the wishes I have for you. Thank you for listening, and we hopefully connect this year at some point.